This handbook is a landmark contribution to the sustainable development of OUs in a time when many OUs are facing intense competition. Right? As higher education is increasingly open, a greater variety of players, both public and private, are taking away more and more students from OUs. OUs are already losing their first mover advantage. The handbook, featuring 47 case studies of OUs around the world, is a timely resource for those OUs that are struggling to survive. The lessons from these 47 OUs are priceless asset to the global community and other open and distance education providers. I'm honored to have contributed a chapter to Section 1, General Overviews. My keynote is innovation which got OUs through doubt and even resistance from society, in particular from conventional universities, should continue to be the ethos of OUs today. I argue if we continue to innovate in the 4 principles of openness championed by the OU's first chancellor, that is, open to people, open to places, open to methods, and open to ideas, we will be able to maintain our advantage. I made a case for the relevance of each of these principles to today's higher education landscape. Innovation in these 4 aspects, I argue, should be interrelated and interdependent if we want to break the I triangle of access, cost, and quality. Breaking this I triangle was the cornerstone of OU's survival and prosperity in the past, but remains integral to OU's continued success today. Another key point is OU should continue to maintain a mutually complementary relationship with other players, in particular conventional universities. Even though, unlike in the early years, competition is inevitable now. But this means taking advantage of our long-established expertise in practicing openness in terms of people, places, methods, and ideas to identify our new niche markets. I have no doubt that this handbook is a welcome addition to the knowledge base of our field. It is a must-read for all stakeholders in the field of open and distance education.
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to highlight the significance of this Handbook of Open Universities around the world in our field. It brings together cases and insight from open universities across the world. It shows how these institutions have evolved, how they operate today, and what challenges they face. For policymakers, it offers solid evidence. It shows what has worked, what has not, and why. For researchers, it provides updated data and diverse perspectives. It links past development to current trends and points out areas where more research is needed. For faculty, it showcases new practices, new technologies, and new models. For learners, it explains why open universities exist, how they support lifelong learning, and what kinds of institutions are available around the world. I also encourage readers to look at earlier handbooks. Authors of those volumes and of this new handbook bring different perspectives, expertise, and experiences. Together, they help us deepen our understanding of open universities. Secondly, I would like to highlight some key points from my chapter. Chapter 19, on a brief overview of major open universities in Asia. The chapter first touches on their history, then summarizes their strengths and contributions. Asian open universities have served millions of adults, supported national development, and promoted equity by reaching rural learners, women, and working adults. The chapter also highlights key innovations such as online systems, MOOCs, blended and mobile learning, and the use of AI and big data. Finally, the chapter notes some main challenges and conclude with future directions. I really hope this handbook help you explore the past, understand the present, and prepare for the future of Open University in Asia and beyond. Thank you.
I am Dr. Melinda de la Pena Bandalaria from the University of the Philippines Open University. I am the former chancellor and now serving as full professor of this same university. So I also authored chapter 42 of the Handbook of Open Universities around the world. And the chapter is under section 4 titled Open Universities in Asian Countries. So what does this book mean to me? As a scholar of the Open University system and distance education, as a practitioner and a teacher of distance education. I am teaching 2 courses under the Master of Distance Education program of UP Open University. These are Foundations of Distance Education and Management of Distance Education. This book, the handbook, serves as a very good reference material, especially the introductory section, the general overview, which tackles the direction of open universities in an uncertain future. We know that open university system already has a very long history, and having the luminaries in open education writing the different chapters in this section, like Sir John Daniel and Alan Tate, gave the book so much credibility as it recognizes the strong foundation of the practice. They are also the same authors of the many materials I am using for my classes. And having the students reading them in a new publication like this book provides a better understanding of the growth of distance education as practiced by the different open universities around the world. Sections 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the book can be very useful both to the distance education and open learning scholars and researchers, also to the leaders of an open university. The specific cases classified under the different regions of the world emphasize the learner and learning centeredness of the open university system and provide the much needed insights in contextualizing the implementation and practice of distance education. Each country case is unique by itself and can further contribute to continued theorizing about open learning and distance education, especially given the rapid changes in the dynamics that impact the open university ecosystem. The book features 26 open universities in Asia. This number is an indicator of how many open universities are operating in the region, with each case selected representing something unique. It is an honor and a great privilege to be one of them, representing the Philippines. We are small in terms of student enrollment in our degree programs when compared to many other open universities in Asia, many of which can already be classified as mega open universities. The opportunity to contribute to the continuing discourse about open university as we practice it is synchronous or synonymous to claiming our space in this global community of practice and to be recognized by peers. I believe we have something to contribute, and being part of this book enabled us to voice that contribution. The book is a perfect example of sharing and learning, of presenting the thesis and surfacing the antithesis, the continued cycle of which propels the growth of knowledge. Going back to my question, what does this book mean to me? As a scholar of the Open University system and distance education, as a practitioner and a teacher of distance education programs and courses. It is really a handbook in all sense of the word, a go-to material when you are researching, when you are mentoring students, the future practitioners of distance education, the future leaders of open universities, and when you are introducing innovations to your own practice and to the university's implementation of this mode of instructional delivery. Salute to the editors, Professor Sanjaya Mishra and Santosh Panda, for coming up with this very relevant and timely initiative. In this era, where there is the blurring of distinctions in the education delivery system, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, this handbook places the open university system as a strong foundation to what looks like the future of learning. Good day to you, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to share my own perspective and insights about this handbook. Thank you very much.